Welcome back to part 2 of episode 17 of Def's Daily Dose of Dota. Today we're focusing on the offlane position, and one of my favorite offlaners, mainly because I don't feed a lot of deaths away on this hero. It's Tidehunter. EG.Universe is playing him right now. Well, not right now. But he's playing him in a game against Team Secret from the recent Star Ladder Star Series Season 10 Offline LAN Finals. And this was not just any game, this is one of the more pivotal games in the series. One of the games, if anytime you need your ravages to be perfect, you need your farm to be on point, and you need your star sense to be tingling at all times. Many kills, or deaths rather, to an offlane early on can prevent your farm for that critical blink dagger that you need to assist your team in fights in the mid game. We're going to hop back into the mid game and focus on Universe's positioning in the fights. It will definitely be helped out by the blink dagger that he's been farming. We're going to see when he holds it, when he chooses not to ravage. We're going to look a little more at how he gets that 200, closer to 1,000 more gold right now that he needs for the blink dagger. But how he assists the carries like his Puck and his Lycan onto victory. Let's hop back into the game. When we left off, Tidehunter 1-3-1. He's not level 11 yet. He's getting close to that blink dagger, and a gank like this would certainly help. Universe is here. He gets a gush off. And we see him up in the air with a primal split from the Brewmaster as well as Medusa in tow. 6 seconds. He comes back down. Doom is here again, and another Doom goes off on Universe. He's low HP. He's getting stunned again. He's being burned down. And he will fall. But Medusa has fallen. Keeper of the Light has fallen. And what's that? That's several more deaths going the way of Secret.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
As a support here, or an offlaner, it's easy to feel a little distraught. You died. You were trying to farm up your blink dagger. But stay positive. Your Lycan is getting significant farm. He's not going to get away from that. But they did get kills on the Doom, the Medusa, the Keeper of the Light, and a kill as well as a buyback from our Earthshaker. Another hero that would love to have a blink dagger, but having to buy back, he is even further away from that blink than our Lycan, who's already back up. He's already back to farming. We see him at 60 last hits this so far, staying very competitive. Using his mana boots, rotating around 1,900 gold. He's very close. This is another 100. This is almost another 100. So we will see him very close after this. That anchor smash just doing work, taking practically no damage. Well, literally no damage. And at 2170 gold, he is very close. Zai, even backing off the camp, knowing that that means the blink dagger for the Tidehunter. Just under the 20-minute mark, Zai picking up his blink as well. And what's this? Tidehunter's now able to pick up rank 2 Ravage. Even with the 4 deaths, the Blink Hunter, as I like to call him, I'm just kidding, that was a mistake. That blink dagger on Tidehunter. Well, that was a hunting Ravage if I've seen it. Would have liked it to wait a little bit, but it did help secure the kill. And on the back of that, a double kill.
Short-lived creatures.
And our heroes push out with Tidehunter being able to sit there and continue farming up lane. He's already up another 600 gold. And that Ravage helping to secure a pivotal kill. And on the back of that, a Roshan for his carry, Arteezy.
Radiant's top tower is under. Roshan has fallen.
Arteezy doing a great job farming this game, almost eclipsing 10k net worth. And S4, with a critical death there on the back of that Ravage, is being set back. Now dropping down to third, with Fear beginning to outfarm him. Universe just continues to farm up, using the Anchor Smash on the creeps, picking up a Staff of Wizardry, and waiting for that Ravage to cool down. He's at 1100 HP. With Kraken Shell and Anchor Smash, he's very tanky. His strength is 3 per level, so he will be ramping up that HP. We see Universe just continuing to farm. There is a fight in the top lane. Zai falling. But Universe has been able to get significant progress done on what should be a 4-staff. It's going to help his mobility in fights. And it's also going to increase his mana pool a little bit. Ravage, as we can see, eventually gets up to 300 mana.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And if he eventually wants to
Dire's
build into a
structures
refresher,
are
he will need even
fortified.
more to execute that glorious double Ravage that we see ending many games.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Almost rank 12 now, level 12. Picking up the Ring of Regen, picking up a TP scroll. Now up to 800 mana, and he's porting back to bottom lane. The creeps have respawned, he can continue farming here. And he will. That'll be an extra 120 gold going his way. EG's doing an excellent job of splitting up the farm this game. Universe can definitely benefit from picking up the 4-staff and the Blink Dagger that farming the jungle helps contribute to. RTZ not taking all the farm, but still able to be tops on net
Dire's
worth,
top tower
farming
is
up
under
some jungle
attack.
camps as well. We see he's now maxed out Anchor Smash, taken 3 points in Kraken Shell, and begun to max out Gush. It's going to be a little more armor reduction. The mana cost does not go up, but the damage does as well. And gathering up with his team at the 23-minute mark, we see Universe push out with a smoke. They're rotating to the top lane, running by this Keeper of the Light. A fight could be imminent. Zai coming in, secures the stun on S4, but the Ravage coming out from Universe, catching 2, preventing the split,
Look at it go.
and Earthshaker falls again. Doom having to be forced out and away, with nothing to show for his troubles. And on the back of that Ravage, a double kill.
Dire's top tower
We
is
see the
un-
several
Dire's
Blink
top
Dagger
tower
initiations
has
coming out
fallen.
for EG. A tier 1 top is falling. Arteezy would love to chase. He's tops on net worth. He's very aggressive, especially against someone like the Keeper of the Light. But instead they'll back off and
Dire's
just
top
group up on this
is
tower,
under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
using mana boots to top off his allies. And on the back of that double kill, the 4-staff is on the way. Along with not only the tier 1 top, but the tier 2 top as well.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Witch Doctor gets the kill on the tower. He may be working towards an ult stick, but it could be a BKB. But in particular, he's dropping the wards, keeping the sentries, dewarding. And also skipping the top rune, leaving it for Universe. Now level 13. He has a bit of time, 60 seconds till the Ravage cools down. He may choose to just continue farming. He has his 2 core items online. The Blink Dagger, and you could say the 4-staff as well. But the next one, on tap at the
Dire's
25-minute
middle
mark,
tower is under attack.
is going to be the Refresher. If you think 1 Ravage is good, just think about 2. Universe is thinking as well, but he's 5,000 gold away. However, Ancients are the key to getting there. We see how little damage he's taking. And with PPD assisting here a little for DPS, and also absorb some XP. Universe is well on his way. We see him sell his stick, pick up a TP scroll, and pick up the first item, just a Sage Mask. But in his times roaming out on the map, it'll keep his mana a little higher. And he's well on his way to that refresher.
Behold!
He knows Team Secret is missing, but he'll hop back in and begin farming.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
No vision coming out of Team Secret. They are in the jungle. A gem on deck for S4. But Brewmaster is topped off. His Ravage is back off of cooldown. And with a TP scroll, Blink Dagger, and Force Staff, he is ready to fight. Arteezy doing a great job with his Lycan farming this game. He has the Vlads. He has the Necromicon rank 3. Now picking up an Assault Cuirass.
Invisibility.
And a fight is imminent. Tidehunter choosing.
Stay near.
Well, he's been doomed. But the real fight is up here.
Your actions are...
Zai taking significant damage, but the trade coming off for Doom. And this Doom doesn't last forever. It also will not kill him, Tidehunter being one of the tankier heroes, as we already mentioned. High strength gain. And EG.Universe doesn't run back to base, just continues sticking around, waiting for it to expire. Both the Doom and S4's Primal split. It's interesting to see a Necromicon in the air for so long. Looking at that fight recap, we saw 5 heroes committal, and the Doom,
Oh, look at it go!
meaning Universe not able to get much done, but he did live, and he stayed with his allies, eventually forcing back the Brewmaster. And ultimately it was a 2 for 2.
Dire's middle
He also
tower
picks
is
up his
under
next
attack.
item, anticipating maybe he'll die in this fight. He can be very aggressive with the Ravage off of cooldown. Arteezy, extensive net worth so far, 15,000. But Universe just backs up. Blinks to the high ground, and checking the clock, he chooses to stack this Ancient Camp.
Gold for me.
Fortuitous timing on his part, and he will be rewarded with an extra 230 gold. Also known as the 28 minute mark, he grabs the bottom rune, top rune. You see the damage reduction there, 16, 11, 20. But he's staying very strong and continuing to farm. Up to 400 gold now. He's also level 14, maxing out the Kraken Shell and the Anchor Smash. He's already up to 1300 HP, which is very substantial. Doom, one of the few heroes above him with that 3.2 strength per level. And we see the Oblivion Staff completed for Tidehunter first. That's going to increase his mana regen already up to 3.9, meaning he can stay out a little longer. Stay with his allies. And just be ready to commit with a Force Staff and Blink Dagger. The smoke comes out now. And we see the wraparound from our 2 heroes, assisting Zai and Arteezy. It is popped by the Medusa. They check Roshan. Roshan is not up. Instead, they'll just place a ward. Universe, though, is still smoked. They could go in on mid here. It's about to expire. Universe just hanging back. He has been doomed in several fights now, meaning one of the key initiation tools, Ravage, has not been available. And Secret's been trading reasonably well. It's the 54-second mark, and Universe instead just chooses to come and stack the Ancients again. Because he did that at the 54-second mark, that's going to be another 200 gold for roughly the same number of right clicks, roughly the same number of anchor smashes, and little extra damage being taken there. He does have a haste rune though while he's farming this. Not sure if that was used or it was bottled. Might have just expired. But 800 gold, he's getting very close to that second piece, the Perseverance. And he might pick up the first item. He does sell his bottle and buy a Void Stone instead. The bottle has served him well for mana regen, but the Void Stone will accomplish a similar task, upping his mana regen to 6 per second. And also building into the Perseverance, and eventually that delicious, delicious Refresher Orb. We see Universe just hanging back though, hanging on his side of the map, and continuing to farm up these Ancients. Leaving the regular jungle free for heroes like Witch Doctor to use his Paralyzing Cask, Zai to use his Impale, and of course Arteezy to just be a man and farm the enemy jungle. Because who cares? When you have 17k net worth, you can do that kind of thing. But we see him continue to stay close to his allies. Another added benefit of him farming the Ancients is PPD. Is able to get that Aghanim Scepter at the 30-minute mark. That's going to greatly increase the DPS. And if they are dooming Universe, that makes it much more likely PPD is able to get a devastating amount of damage done with that Aghanim Scepter. Up to 4 bounces. That could just tear apart someone like your Brewmaster. But the Doom is used on Arteezy, they force staff him away, and look at that Ravage. Stunning everyone in place. He then goes up to the high ground, hopes to regen some HP. And as the fight unfolds below him, we see him just run away. He's low. A lot of ultimates have been sacrificed here. Looking at the fight recap, it is a 3-0, but Arteezy lives, and Universe lives as well. We saw extensive damage coming out from that primal split. It will concede to be a Roshan for secret. But the Ravage potentially saved Arteezy, along with a very early Force Staff on his part. And Lycan can just continue farming, continue pushing out lanes with his wolves. And Universe using this time to instead rotate into the enemy jungle.
Roshan has
He now has his Perseverance. Only the last item is needed. An 1800 Refresher Orb recipe. He would love to make it there without dying. He can see it within reach, in which case he should be level 16 and can have over 5 seconds stun. An AoE stun, rather.
Gold for me.
Potentially against their whole team.
That was good of you.
So after farming up about 180 gold in the enemy jungle, he comes back and continues farming up the Ancients. That'll be another 200 for him. And he inches ever so closer to his ideal item setup. Arteezy picking up a BKB now. He's going to be with a little more survivability in the next fight, which will have a Ravage off of cooldown. It could be also a level 16 Ravage as Universe continues farming the Ancients. He's up to 1100 gold. He'll be up to about 1400 after he kills these. And he joins his carry Arteezy, rotating up to the top lane. He is ever so close to that rank 3 ultimate as it is about to come off of cooldown. Would love to farm this camp. Oh, what's that? The heroes are here. Slight mistake on Universe's part. Arteezy already knows he's dead. And not much can be done.
Cast upon the tides.
Nothing to buy. He's been waiting for that Refresher Orb. A slight misstep on his part, but that's alright. After all, 4 heroes were there, along with a mana leak. Stuns galore. He's going to be down for 38 seconds, and that might result in a push claiming this tier 2 tower. PPD just continuing to farm in the jungle, keeping brown boots the whole game.
Radiant's top tower
With
is
Tidehunter
under
up in
attack.
20 seconds, this tier 2 top may be forfeit. And it is.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
But instead we have Wolves pushing out this bottom lane. Arteezy just continuing to farm. And a Doom now on deck with an Aghanim Scepter. There's a lot of targets available for him. But he can't keep doing that to Universe. And we may see a glorious double Ravage in the coming fight. He's back up to 1100 gold. No need to buy back, just waited it out, lost a tier 2 tower, and he's back to farming. They did lose that Aegis earlier to Secret, so they do have to be on the defensive, but he can still come here and farm up this double stack that PPD stacked earlier. That's going to be another 400 gold his way, and he will be tantalizingly close to that refresher orb at the 36-minute mark. PPD just staying here, helping to assist with a little bit of DPS in case there is a rotation coming from Secret. And 1800 gold means he can pick up his refresher orb and a TP scroll. Puck falling in the top lane. Several heroes being committed, along with an Echo Slam, you'll notice. So that's one ultimate down against EG, who now have an extra ultimate online.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
EG.Universe at the 37-minute mark picks up his refresher orb, and a smoke immediately comes out. We see our heroes just hanging back. Doom on the sidelines would love to prevent the Ravage, but he does not. One Ravage goes off, instant refresher, and a double Ravage coming off. S4 doesn't even get to primal split. Kuroki still stunned himself. And instead the Doom has to go off on the Lycan. Tidehunter turning around, slowly making his way in. He does get stone gazed at the last moment, but he's close enough. 130 mana. Will eventually make it to that Gem of True Sight dropped by Puppy. And what is already a 2-for-0 has Arteezy continuing to chase, along with Fear. Universe coming in, getting an Anchor Smash, reducing the damage. Actually, that was a Gush to slow him. Medusa very low. And our heroes converge. Eventually popping the Aegis. Looking at that fight recap. A 3-for-0, although there was a buyback on Puck. The gem is out. Our Tidehunter's low. But he's staying in the fight. His survivability is very high. And we see him continue to roam. He gets a Gush off on Big Daddy. And with the help of that slow, another kill is secured.
You might wish to retract your last move.
We see now 81 seconds for Ravage to cool down. Another 110 for the refresher orb, but Universe isn't going back to base. With that refresher orb, he has excellent mana regen. Pretty good HP regen as well. He's tanky. His heroes, his allies, as well as that 2,000 net worth Arteezy are still alive. Fear being a little ambitious here. Will fall for his troubles?
Behold!
No, he does not. Instead gets away with 10 HP. And will continue to run away here. S4 will look to chase him, but I don't think he's going to get him.
Almighty Bunny.
Universe just continuing to farm up the mid as we see Fear did get away with 44 HP. Great job on his part. Allowing Universe the space to continue farming up the jungle. His core items are online, so he's just increasing his net worth now. having buyback
Dire's bottom tower
would be
is
a
under
great
attack.
item to have in the next fights. And just waiting for that Ravage to come off a cooldown. It will be off for the next fight. Potentially even the Refresher Orb. As we see more damage being dished out, just rotating through the jungle. He's up to 1k gold. As all our heroes are back online, Refresher back up after that 185 second cooldown. But he may detect pressure coming from Team Secret. The Lycan Wolf dies in the river, and Universe will blink back and retreat to base. Might put the gem back in base. Might hold on to it. But he is ready to fight now. Ravage. Refresher Ravage. Ready to rinse and repeat. And on the back of fights like just happened, it's easy to see the 25-19 lead for EG. Net worth, pretty close. But what's that? It's a Ravage on S4 again. A Refresher Ravage, also hitting No Tail. We're actually gonna briefly pause and jump back in time to see just how great of a engagement that was. And I want to switch to their vision here. Universe coming up, sees the creeps, and then he sees S4 in mid. And we see him moving forward, 365 move speed. Little does he know, heroes are on the high ground, but he can expect them to be up here. And with 1,000 range on this Ravage, we can see it connect. Now, that ended up being a 3-man Ravage. Really, that's just bad luck with Earthshaker. But it needs to be kept in mind that with an ability like Ravage, it's an AoE, it's 1,000 range. You have to be careful. And the Refresher comes out, eventually catching 3. Simba did BKB, but S4 dies instantly. Big Daddy falling as well. Keeper of the Light can do very little except for run away. And he will not even be able to do that. PPD committing the Death Ward, being interrupted by that level death. But EG.Universe lives. He's up to 2,000 gold. The Doom did come out on Arteezy, but it's not enough. Arteezy claims another kill on the back of a beautiful Ravage, and perhaps a little bit of good luck. It's a 5-man wipe. Significant damage is done. And EG looked to press forward. We saw 2 Ravages that resulted in significant damage. 2,400 actually being the top damage dealer in that fight. Along with Refresher, Mana Boots, and a Gush or 2 to prevent the escape of our heroes. It'll be a tier 2, and it may be a tier 3 as well. With 5 heroes still down, they could push for racks. Buyback from the 2 heroes that can. Tidehunter using those Mana Boots as soon as they're off of cooldown. Just bringing the mana up for his allies and bringing down the melee racks. Echo Slam comes in, but a Gush, an Anchor Smash, and Earthshaker falls again. Universe 600 HP, but he has those damaging negation abilities, Kraken Shell, Anchor Smash, so he's going to stay here. Having to stand still because of the mana leak. Multiple buybacks have been elicited, and he will ultimately fall. But the score is now 32-20. The mid-racks are down. And Simba ultimately gets a double kill. Most of the gold going to the Doom. He has 1,000. Along with the Midas. 2,700 gold online. But the Lycan lives, and he will continue split pushing. And that is the first lane of Brax, along with this excellent Observer Ward coming down for EG. And with that, it's the 43-minute mark. We're going to take a break. That's definitely what I would consider the end of the mid-game. we've seen the refresher orb come out before the 40-minute mark for our Tidehunter. And he's gotten some wonderful double ravages, including that one you just saw. Little bad luck on the Earthshaker blinking in, although it's pretty easy to see tentacles moving out in a wave. And it's pretty easy to hit a stun when it has 1,000 radius and it's in an AoE. After we come back from a break, we're going to continue with the conclusion of this game, the late game. Will we see more glorious double ravages from our Universe Tidehunter? Will we see Team Secret come back? Perhaps doom our Tidehunter and take him out of the fights, though that will leave the Lycan open to go ham. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this relaxing music break.